Hi, I'm Anita of My Duke and I podcast, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I know that Sussex Squad is global, and I just want to thank everyone for your continuous support of my channel and Harry and Meghan. And at the end of the day, I think that we're doing a very good thing in pushing back on the negativity that is out there about Harry and Meghan, the smear campaign. We have to tell our side of the truth about the smear campaign, or else people are going to believe what they hear. Just think about the misinformation that was out there about the pandemic and how some very intelligent, sound people started believing some of the mistruths that were out there. So if we don't defend and we don't push back on the smear campaign, people are going to believe it. And I feel like it's my job to do that. And as long as I have light and as long as I have internet and as long as I have a camera, I feel like this is my job and I am going to do it. And until they leave Harry and Meghan alone. Period. Anyways, I saw something today on Twitter and it was quite interesting. I saw somebody tweeted with an article that said Prince Charles dictated to the press what parts of his mother's funeral, the Queen's funeral, that he wanted them to capture. And that got me really thinking. I started to think that if Prince Charles can go to the press and tell them what part of his mother's funeral that he wanted them to cover, then he could have done the same thing with the press. He could have gone to the press and tell them to leave Meghan alone. And he did not do that. And for matter of fact, people within his household, Camilla was feeding the press. So how can he go to the press and tell them to lay off Meghan when his wife herself had direct connection to the press, feeding the press about what was happening in the palace? Because we all know Camilla has a direct line to Angela Levin, Katie Nicole, and all the other royal reporters. Now, the next thing that also I started to think about was, normally when you have an organization, your workers tend to follow the head of the organization, meaning that they know what is acceptable within the organization. They know what their boss would like and what their boss would not like. And because they know he did not like Meghan, they felt it was okay for them to antagonize and provoke Meghan Markle within the palace. The types of things that Valentine Rowe has been reporting, and all the other so-called royal reporters out there, which I call trash, basically. This information all came from the palace, and they seem to be saying to me that they did not like Meghan. Somebody was telling them to make Meghan's life as miserable as they can, set traps for her, make her uncomfortable, laugh at her, mock her, and it seems like they were having celebrations behind her back. I cannot believe that a 1,000-year institution that workers are behaving like that, that behavior to me is a condoned behavior. That behavior was ordered. It was ordered by Kate. It was ordered by William and Prince Charles and Camilla, because you must represent your company. And if this is what your company represents, if this is what the top of the company subscribe to, that is how the staff is going to behave. And they really think that what they're putting out there is cute. Well, the whole world is saying that these people are mean, vicious, and cruel. What the world is saying is that Meghan and Harry had a right to leave that palace. It was like a Hunger Game in that palace, if you ask me. And what sane person would be able to tolerate the vitriol that was coming from that palace, commissioned by the higher ups? It must have been condoned. It must have been conditioned. But they're laughing right now and they think that they're cute. But in actuality, the world is looking at them as despicable, and they are hurrying up the end of the monarchy. Everywhere that Prince Charles and William and Kate goes, they're meeting protest. They go to Wales, they're meeting protest. Wherever they go, people are saying, it's time to fold that monarchy. People are not happy with them. And, you know, it's just great that Harry and Meghan, as Harry said, they have each other. And with the love that they have, which Tyler Perry witnessed, which he calls a real and a strong love, is going to get them through this time. I do not for 1 minute believed that Prince Charles, Kate, William, and the staff and the courtiers in that monarchy ever wanted Meghan to be there. They were all pretending. Because if Harry had brought Meghan to them and they had said no, it would have looked bad on them. Already the people were questioning that monarchy as though it was not keeping up with the times. That royal family was not integrated. And if Harry had brought Meghan and said, I am in love with Meghan, I want to marry Meghan, and they had said no, the world would have looked down on them. And because they know there was going to be a backlash, they pretended to have accepted Meghan. And all those people that are saying, oh, Charles walked Meghan down the aisle. No, he did not willingly or good-heartedly walked Meghan down the aisle. It was just pretense. Because you cannot tell me that here you have somebody that is foreign from America, she's black, she's woman, coming into your fold like that, and you have your staff at the palace being allowed to mistreat Meghan like that. I say it was sanctioned by the higher ups, and that sanctioning came from Prince Charles It came from Kate, it came from William, and it came from Camilla. All of them conspired with palace staff to make Meghan and Harry's life as miserable as possible. And now they're bragging about it and thinking it's cute. But there's nothing cute about it. What they are essentially saying to the world is that exactly what everybody was thinking. That they are racist. That they didn't want Meghan because Meghan is an American. And a long time ago when Meghan edited the Vogue issue with all the women of change or power, I can't remember exactly the title. But Dissa Roberts, she said something that was so important. She said, and we were all thinking that in our fandom, in the beginning stage of Sussex Squad fandom, that it was nothing more than Meghan was an American, and that because Harry did not choose an English rose, a quote-unquote English rose, and that she was black or mixed race, they were unhappy with Harry's choice, and that they had allowed the press and to go after Meghan the way that they've gone after her. And we in the fandom had suspected that everything that the press was saying in the UK came directly from the palace. I remember that we had some tweets going on and we were all saying my palace source, because it was clear to the people in the fandom that the behavior that we were seeing and the report that we were getting from those royal reporters were coming precisely from the palace. And now we know. Now it is confirmed. Our suspicion has been confirmed. And now we know, after everything that happened, that Charles, who never cared about his own son. Now, imagine that you have a child and you know that his life is in danger from the public. You allowed him and his wife and his child to travel throughout the world without the proper security. You knowingly put him in harm's way. What kind of father are you? Prince Charles. And all those people that support Prince Charles, or Tampon Charles, or Tampon Charlie. What kind of father are you? To allow your staff at the palace to bully Meghan and then turn it around on her and claim that she was bullying them. But it's all open and we can see it. If you guys want to hear what this Robert said, let's take a listen.
What do you think is going on here? Do you think that there are perhaps some sinister racial undertones here when it comes to the criticism that Meghan gets in the press? Do you think that, is it perhaps because she's American that she's getting it? Is it because she's a celebrity, or another reason maybe?
Well, I think there are a number of reasons. I think racism and xenophobia come right at the top. I mean, I have long loved British history. I love a good British accent. I am a fan of a number of things that are British and are from the United Kingdom. But historically, the British people have kind of seen themselves as a little bit above, a little bit special. And I think that they would have reacted probably poorly had Prince Harry married someone from any other country other than Great Britain. But for him to marry an American, in some people's minds, was particularly problematic. So she could walk on water and cure cancer, and there are some people who would not give her any credit or give her props for that because she is American. And then when you add in that she is mixed race, with black being in the mix, I mean, again, I've done traveling in Europe and Great Britain, and I'm always astonished when my European friends say to me, oh, we don't have the racism issues that y'all have in America, and I have to fall out of my chair laughing because there is racism, there's prejudice and discrimination against people of color pretty much everywhere that there are people of color. So I think that is a big part of it, that there was a certain group of people who thought Prince Harry would marry, quote, an English rose. She might be a commoner, but they still expected her to be an English rose.
Yes, she had said that from day one. But as I said, Harry and Meghan's love is strong. And they're going to survive all of this. Did you hear what Tyler Perry said? He'd seen it, he'd witnessed it. Their love is strong, they'll survive all of that. Listen to Tyler Perry.
You know, I never knew I would know a prince and a princess. That wasn't even what that was about. What I was reaching out to her for was because they were giving her hell. Right. And a lot of it was because she was a black woman. Absolutely. And I flat out, no denying it, I completely knew that. And I wanted to reach out and let her know that there was somebody there for her. Mm-hmm. And I sent her a note and not expecting anything to come of it. And she said, thank you so much. And that was it. And a couple of years later, we started talking and she was able to talk. And the only reason I'm sharing this because she shared it first. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we were able to talk and she was telling me some of the things that were going on. And I'm just so proud of where they are now because I'm going to tell you something. Those two people love each other. Mm. I don't care what anybody says. I'm seeing it up close and you can't fool me. Yeah. I got the Holy Ghost. You can't fool me. I know what's real. They really genuinely love each other. So I'm just so happy to see where they are now.
And as he said, he's filled with the Holy Ghost. He can discern a false spirit. And he can discern lies. And the Holy Spirit showed him that this is a strong love. This is a true love. And that these two really love each other. And they will surpass all of that. Everybody that has ever encountered Meghan, they have only good things to say about Meghan. For all Meghan's 36 years that she has been on this earth, before coming into the royal family, everybody had positive things to say about Meghan. Everybody had wonderful things to say about Meghan, how she was a sweet person, she was kind, she looked out for others, she was in touch with humanity. She wanted to change the world, and she spent 2 years in the palace. And you're telling me the 36 years she spent out of the palace should not count or trump the 2 years that people who conspired against her. You're telling me that you believe those people who spent only 2 years with her more than those people who have spent more than 2 years with her that has all these wonderful things to say about her. Her college professors, the people she worked with on different jobs, the people and them that she went to school with, in every walks of life, everybody that Meghan has encountered said that she was a sweet and selfless person. Yes. Everybody is saying something different than what the people that did everything in their power to infuriate or to make Meghan unhappy in that palace. You're telling me that you believe them over these people? But Meghan will have the last word. As Janina said, her friend, on ITV, that Meghan has the emails, she has the texts, and she will tell the truth. She will clear her name. And as I said in my last video, we will have the last laugh. The truth shall set Meghan free. Not that she's chained or locked up, but the truth. People will have a different perception, or people's perception. They can keep digging a hole. The palace staff can keep digging a hole, because at the end of the day, Meghan walked away with the evidence.
Now we've got the bullying investigation going on. What do you say to the accusations about her bullying people?
Well, I have known her for 17 years, and I have seen the way that she regards the people around her and the people she works with, and I can say she's not a bully. But I can also say that I am personally glad that people are doing their due diligence, because I also know why someone had to leave, and it was for gross misconduct. And the truth will come out. There's plenty of emails and texts about that.
And whatever she does, whether it's on her podcast, whether it's on her documentary, whatever she's doing, she will set the record straight. She always does. I remember when she was in Fiji, she gave that speech when everybody was saying, oh, Meghan's dad paid for her education and look at how she's treating her dad. When she gave that speech, she set the record straight. She said she worked and got different aids and whatever to go to school. All along, they were saying it was her father who sent her to school. She set the record straight. And she will set the record straight eventually. Just give it some time. They're having their day right now. But interestingly, the world is not believing them. They're trying so hard to get the world to turn against Meghan. But the more they try, the more people come to Meghan's defense. So their efforts are in vain. And if they're worried about Prince Harry's book, well, not only Prince Harry's contract is about one book, it's not about 2 books, it's about 3 books. He will eventually speak his truth. The way that they treated Meghan in England during the Queen's funeral was abominable. How can you ask a man who truly loves his wife and sees his wife and his children as a unit to come to an event and leave his wife back? I am so happy that Harry literally tell them that if it's not him and his wife, he's not interested. Period. How dare you try to put division in a man's relationship, Charles? Tampon Charlie. How dare you? How dare you try to separate a man and his wife? How dare you try to put division in what God has put together? Because your relationship is not that solid? Because you had wrecked your home with that home wrecker Camilla? Because you and Camilla is sleeping in different homes? Everybody else have to be in the same situation as you? The audacity of these people. So, at the end of the day, we're going to continue praying for Harry and Meghan and their family. Because I don't understand how a whole island can come after one human being. It's incredible. For matter of fact, they have Australia, they have how many places coming after one woman? It's like a David and Goliath story. But at the end of the day, we know how that story ended. That David, with his small swing, he defeated Goliath. And I think that is a metaphor for the British monarchy. They will be defeated. We're going to just give them some time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, like, and share. And hit the notification bell so that when an episode comes out, you will be notified. We have to push back on the smear campaign and the false narrative that is out there. Because I am telling you, the way social media works is that when people put these mistruths out there, there are people who are going to believe it. And some people may say, well, why are you so upset? You look like a nice lady. Why are you so upset? Why are you pushing back? You're the one who have hate. Nope. We all see what happened during this pandemic and during our last president, not our current one. How people can take things, put it out onto social media, and it can become true. It can become the truth. So, the disinformation or misinformation, it has to be refuted. You have to fight it. If you don't fight it, then it's going to become truth. And we cannot allow that to happen. If my message gets to one person, I feel like I have done what I'm supposed to do. We cannot sit down and allow these lies to spread like wildfire. And as long as I have breath, I am going to push back on all of this negativity. I will call out Charles, I'll call out Lazy Kid, and I will call out William, traitor William, and I will call out Camilla, that homewrecker. I will call her out. And that sausage hand, Tampon Charlie, I will call him out. He's a loser. And I cannot wait until that monarchy is toppled. It's coming. Just give it some time. Sometimes, we say, why God doesn't work fast enough, or God seems to be taking time to do things. But God does things in His own time. I've learned that. The Bible said, those who wait upon the Lord, He shall renew their faith. And I am going to wait, because I know God works in His own time. And He's watching. For matter of fact, He said, before you, I knew. So He knows. He knows all of the story. He knew it before it happened, and he will act on it in his own time. Take care and bye, you all.